So actually, you mentioned the handful, like the thinking about do you have handful of this or that on your plate?
Mhm.
So so anyone who's watching and wondering what would be the first step or to feel better about food or to change eating habits. So what kind of a tip would you give them?
So I always say, when you know what a portion size looks like, start with one portion size, just one. And if you want more, have more. But start with one. That way you can really start to hone in on your own hunger cues. Are you full? You satisfied? Where are you on that range of hunger? And palm size serving. I can show you real quick. Palm size serving thickness and the size of your own personal hand is protein. That's about 20 to 30 grams per serving. Fist is a serving of vegetables. It's about a cup. So if you think about it on your plate, hand scoop is a serving of carbohydrates. It's about a half a cup. And then fats is your thumb, about a tablespoon. So when you know, okay, I have a serving of protein, I have a serving of carbs, I have a serving of fats and fruits or vegetables, you have a balanced meal. And to aim for that as often as possible. But when you get one serving size of each, it's the place to start. We're not saying that's all you can eat, We're just saying start with one serving of each and then add more if you need to add more. It's a starting point and then adjusting based on your physical size, physical and activity, those kind of things. But it's a starting point.
Yeah, it's kind of like five a day fitted into that picture. Like each meal has some of the elements somehow.
Yeah. Yeah. Build it like a puzzle.
Yeah.
You can think of it, your plate as a puzzle, either whether I like hand portions, some people like the divided plate. So again, it's personal. So I ask, individually, what feels best to you? Is it the plate that you like to look at and put your plate together like a puzzle? Or is it, looking at hand portions
What about the regular eating we were just talking about?
like throughout the day, you mean?
Well, if we're trying to give a advice for somebody who wants to start with one small step, so
I
one would
gotcha.
be the balanced plate model thinking.
I gotcha. Yeah. I mean, for sure, I would say, what is your biggest challenge? And many people will say a certain meal is their biggest challenge, or late at night is their biggest challenge. So I'd say, what is your biggest challenge? And what's one small step you can take for that? So we'll use breakfast, for example. I skip breakfast. So one small step, what are you willing to do? Are you willing to eat something with protein for breakfast? So whether it's a Greek yogurt or it is a, protein shake or maybe a couple of hard-boiled eggs and a piece of fruit, those kind of things. What would you be willing to start with adding some protein in the morning? And then always ask, like, how do you feel after you've done that? Always incredible feedback when people start eating a little bit of protein for breakfast. And, throughout the day, they just so much more balanced energy and, all of the things that they're looking for.
Yeah. Well, hey, question. I don't know if it's a tough one, but a question. Well, if I would be to choose between those two, like to start with the regular rhythm, to kind of like outline what would be a regular rhythm for me, or to start making some meal more balanced, which one would you recommend?
Yeah, I mean, I have to say I turn that back on the client. Like, what would they be willing to do? I mean, I live in the absolute 100% real world of, like, which one's easier? Which one's easier for you? Is it the regular rhythm, like starting to eat a little bit of breakfast and then kind of go throughout the day? Or is it to build balanced meals each meal? Because sometimes depending on somebody's schedule, there is no way they're going to start building balanced meals because they don't even eat a meal. So let's start you getting something that will give you some energy. So I take micro steps is what I like to call them. They're micro steps, so I always say which one would be easier? What's the low hanging fruit? Which one's like, "Oh yeah, I can take that one and go." So there's no right answer for that. It's always what is the easiest for that person that's right in front of me.
So would those be your like final words for people to encourage them for better health?
What are my final words?
Yeah, would it be something to do with the micro steps?
It would be number one, get clarity. Get clarity on what you actually want. What are you trying to achieve here? You're not trying to achieve a goal. You're trying to live in a space. You're living in a new space of whatever that looks like. Get clarity. Two, what's your challenge? What's your biggest challenge? Number three would be, what is one small step you can take towards that? Then keep building small steps from there. But I would say one, clarity. Two, what's your biggest challenge? And three, what is one small step you can take towards that biggest challenge?
What if I don't know what is my biggest challenge?
That's why you hire a coach, Mia. I 100%, a good coach in any way, shape, or form will help you get crystal clear clarity on what you are trying to achieve and what your biggest challenges might be and what that one small step will be towards, without a doubt. But I say, look at, take pictures. Take pictures of your meals. If you don't hire a coach, totally cool. Take pictures of your meals and look at your meals and say, which one of those is probably the one that I know I need to make some changes on because my energy's tanking by midday or I'm starving by the end of the day. There's always outcomes based on what we're doing. So get clarity on what that is. But what's one small step? Start taking pictures of what you're eating so you have some information to pull from.
Yeah.
Because without information, you're really just kind of fumbling around and just, trial and erroring things. But you'll get some information from pictures without a doubt.
What is your experience? How many days you have to take all your meal photos with the See How You Eat app to start seeing the real reflection, the pattern reflection?
So the very minimum I would say is at least 3 days and making sure that you get a weekend in there because weekends are often very different than weekdays.
Mhm.
3 days is the absolute minimum, but 1 week will give you a really great picture. So 3 to 7 days, start with three. Start with the easiest one, three
Yeah,
days, and
yeah,
look back and like, oh my gosh, I eat nothing at lunch and I eat, a lot at dinner and a lot later, or however the pattern goes for you. It will
yeah,
give you information. And I will share that my sister wanted to become more aware of, she wanted to lose some weight. And I said, do you know what you're eating? And she said, no. I said, keep track for a couple days, take pictures, write it down, whatever you feel would be helpful. And she just told me the other day she lost 10 pounds. And I said, well, how did you do that? She said, I became aware of what I was eating. That's it. She became aware, she became conscious of what she was eating.
yeah,
It was really a huge, aha moment for her. So,
yeah.
I tell you, take pictures.
Yeah, I actually it's funny. Sometimes I struggle when like I get this off question really often. People ask me like, "How would taking photos help me with my eating?" And maybe I'm too close. Shoemakers' children don't have shoes or something. But I struggle sometimes to answer them. Like just becoming aware of what you're eating will help you so much. And people don't somehow I see from their eyes that they don't believe me. You kind of have to experience it yourself, just like your sister did.
Yep. Because she was like, "Well, I already know what I eat, and I know I probably need to do better." And I said, "Just try it. Just try it." Um,
Yeah.
yeah, exactly. And remember my comment earlier, we humans, every single human, nobody is, um, outside of this unless they've taken this journey. We are terrible at knowing what we eat and how much we eat. We're just terrible at it. It's just not something that we just consciously, naturally think about unless we have made that point to do so. So it's okay. Give yourself grace. It's okay that you don't think it'll work. It's okay that you don't think that, you're one of those people that doesn't know how much they eat. They're fully aware of it, right? But give yourself a minute and take some pictures and notice what you eat and then look back at the pictures and say, okay, I see some patterns here that I might want to change.
Yeah. Awesome. Uh, it's been such an honor to have you here as my guest. I hope we were able to deliver all those beautiful, beautiful stories and experiences you have had and your clients have had, and maybe give some inspiration for others as well that taking meal pictures really, really helps just have to take the leap of faith and start doing it.
Yeah, absolutely. Give yourself a chance, right? 3 days. 3 days and just get some self-reflection. And allow those feelings to come up if there's shame, guilt, um, whatever feelings come up with food, it's okay. Like it's okay. They're just messengers. Let them come up, and just use it as some feedback for yourself. But yeah.
Yeah.
Sure, and so thank you. Yeah, thank you for having me. It's been an honor and pleasure. I know we've been trying to do this for a while, so it's been good. I love what I do. I'm so lucky to do this work, to help set others free, and, you're doing important stuff too, so it's good, especially in today's day and age.
Yes, we need awareness, and we need
We need awareness.
peace of mind, I would say as well.
Mhm. Yeah,
Yes.
and self-accountability. It's a skill, and it's a good one. It's an important one. It's a
Yes.
helpful one.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Susie. I really appreciate you taking this time to chat
You're
with.
welcome. Yeah.
Yes. So uh, let's thank our listeners, and I will now say bye bye from my end, and I will stop the recording.